Hey there YouTube, hello from Sofia, Bulgaria, where today I want to think out loud on the problem of emotion versus reason. And I want to think about this because lately I've been trying to do a lot of stuff for myself, a lot of stuff in my schedule, building some habits, and it's very easy to notice that many times I have set the things for myself that I want to do, my tasks for the day, my chores, and I don't feel like doing them. I really don't feel like doing them. Even though I reasonably know that it's the right thing to do, it's the best thing for me to do, I don't feel like it. So I want to talk a bit about the problem of reason versus emotion. And what I've noticed is, and it's not that even I've noticed it, it's everywhere. If you've ever done sales or you were into marketing, into advertisement, you know that we people are not really reasonable agents. We are emotional beings and we take emotional decisions. We buy emotionally based on our emotions, and we very often act based on our emotions. And it has a lot to do with our evolutionary development. After all, emotions were with us much earlier, before we developed reason. So back then, emotion was the thing that was guiding us. We were doing the thing that felt good. It felt good to get food. It felt good to get sex. And these are the things that we were using as our navigation of what we should be doing and what we shouldn't do. When we do something that we shouldn't do, we feel pain and we don't want to do it anymore. But then we developed reason and we became capable of thinking about and figuring out what would be the best thing to do. Not feeling it, but thinking about it, figuring it out, right? And very so often we still have this clash. We know what is the right thing to do, but we don't feel like it. We really don't feel like it. And personally, I have found a couple of tools that help me when I have a clash like this, because after all, if we do only what we feel like doing, we would stay at home all day, watch TV series and eat fat food. That's pretty much all we'll be doing. So we need to get over this. We need to be able to do things that we don't feel like doing. And here are a couple of things that are very helpful to me. Two of them are will and discipline. And they're kind of on the same side, but they're not the same thing. Since will is something like a sword, it's like a tool that you can develop and you can use to do this initial pull, a push, to push through the hard thing. In the beginning you can use will, while discipline is more like a habit. Is when you have consistently done this over and over again, you develop your discipline. So they're on the same side of the coin, but they're not exactly the same thing. And will and discipline are very helpful. They're basically, you know what you need to be doing, you don't feel like it. I know I want to go to the gym and I need to go to the gym, but I don't feel like it. I really don't feel like it. And this is where it gets funny. Then your brain will jump in and do everything it can to rationalize, to explain to you in a reasonable way why you shouldn't be doing this. But you were to the gym yesterday. You need rest. And the gym would be full of people right now. It's not gonna be a good training anyways. You can skip today and have an even better training session tomorrow. It sounds very fucking logical, like every time your brain is very good at rationalizing the emotional decisions that you're making. If I go, do you want to go to the park right now? You would notice how you feel like, and if you feel good about it, you would say yes. If you feel bad about it, you would say no. And then you will rationalize all the rest to explain to me why you said yes or why you said no. So will and discipline are a superpower powers when it comes to noticing how I feel. I don't feel like going to the gym. That's fine. I'm still going to the gym because I know it's the right thing to do. So in Buddhism, they have this thing that's called a right action. And sometimes it's not in the same direction as what you feel like doing, but you know it is the right action. So you take the right action. So this is when it comes to will and discipline. It's not different people have differently developed discipline and will. Some are better at it, some are worse at it, but it's like a muscle. It can be trained. There are exercises, there are small things that you can start off and build your willpower and build your discipline in order to use it for bigger things. When you don't feel like it, but it's the right thing to do, and you fucking do it, even though you don't feel like it. Another thing that is extremely helpful is because since we are an emotional beings, and this is our sentence, but we can use this to our advantage. And the way we can do that is to emotionally charge the thing that we want to be doing. So as an example, I can give you waking up in the morning when the alarm goes off. I really don't feel like waking up. I really don't feel like waking up. And my brain starts rationalizing. Oh, you haven't had enough sleep, you wouldn't be productive today. Okay, tell me what's gonna happen if you just have 30 more minutes, right? So, what can be helpful, and what has helped me before, is to really emotionally charge the waking up in the morning. Because in the morning, when the alarm goes off, I'm gonna have a huge negative emotion connecting to waking up. I wouldn't feel like waking up. But if in the evening I have really emotionally charged this waking up, I'm go like, you know what, that shit is fucking important to me. This is something that is really important to me, and this is really going to make a difference. I want to prove to myself that I'm able to overcome this thing that is hard. Yes, it's hard, but I want to prove to myself that I can do it. And I emotionally charge this waking up in the morning. Then in the morning when the alarm goes off and the negative emotion is there, there is this bigger positive emotion of me waking up and feeling like a champion. So that's another very useful tool when it comes to overcoming this problem, this clash of reason against emotion. So there are three so far, right? It's will, where you just don't feel like it, but you fucking do it, and discipline when you develop this as a habit. And you start with the small things, develop the habit, use it afterwards, and emotionally charge doing the hard thing. Emotionally charge doing taking the right action. Of course, there are a couple of more tools to do that. I was thinking of one just a bit earlier, but let's not make this video too fucking big. And those are really a couple of very interesting things that we can all experiment with. We can use it to take the stairs instead of the elevator. We can use it to eat healthy meal, our next meal to be healthy instead of not healthy, by using these three tools. And in this way, we can slowly, gradually, but surely start winning the battle of how we feel against who we want to be. That's pretty much it. I thank you for your attention, and I'll see you next week.